In this video, I'm going to be discussing some of the things that pros do to win the majority of their box fights, some little tips and tricks that seem small on their face, but actually help you get the upper hand in real time, and you'll notice the improvement almost immediately. So we're going to be discussing piece control, crosshair placement, which I've already discussed before, so we're going to discuss those last. And I'm going to be discussing angles, how you're taking walls, and box fighting on a ping difference. So one of the things that pros are always thinking about whenever they're in any fight is angles, what angles they're peeking from and what angles they're taking to an opponent. So pretend like there's an opponent in that box, right? And I only took the wall. Pretend like none of these other builds are mine, right? I just took the wall, right? And I'm piecing him up, right? Now, if I make this wide edit, like that, when I'm exposed, I'm getting pumped. If I make this edit here, when I'm exposed, I'm getting pumped. If I make this edit, I'm getting pumped. I make this edit, I'm getting destroyed. I make this edit when I'm peeking from this angle, I'm getting destroyed. There's so many bad edits you can make in any situation that will lose you a fight, especially since when you're editing, you have the delay between when you edit and when you pull your shotgun out. And if the opponent's sitting here and they're strafing with their shotgun out, waiting for you to make the edit, what's going to happen is they're going to hit you for massive damage before you even pull your shotgun out if you make a bad peek. That, or when you make the edit, they're just gonna pump the wall and then destroy you. So one simple thing I like to do when I make a peek is I make the edit and then I'll come over to the side before I confirm the edit. So I'll just do that, or you can do it right here like this when you're already not exposed. Make the edit and then pop and reset the build quickly. Another thing you can do, make an edit where you're not exposed. The opponent will pump the wall thinking, hey, I'm gonna shoot him, and then he's used a pump shot. He's already like trying to reload. You still have a free shot, and then you can bop him. So with a simple wall edit, taking the correct angles to an opponent, right, will win or lose you the fight. Or the same can be said for up top, right? If I make this wide edit here, when I'm exposed like this, I'm dead because he's sitting down here like this, waiting for the edit to happen, and he's gonna pump me, right? But if I make the edit like that, right, when I'm not exposed, when I'm sitting behind my cone like this, right, and then he can jump peek and shoot, I can hide behind the cone like this, and then I can go like that. Or something else you can do is pretend you took the floor and you took the cone. What I like to do sometimes is I like to edit like that, place the wall, he'll pump the wall, and then I come down and I shoot, right? So boom, boom, wall, he pumps wall, bam, boom. So in real time, it would look like this. You'd edit, boom, bam, bop. So those are some angles you can take when you're editing a wall, editing a floor and cone after you've taken someone's wall, to make sure you don't expose yourself immediately to a big chunk of damage. Now, how you actually take their builds is an equally important subject. So you'll see all the time where someone will drop down and they'll start smacking on someone's wall like that to try to take it. I'll do it and I'll lose fights because of it. This has two problems. One being you're not guaranteed to get the wall the first try. You don't get the wall, they're making an edit out on you and they're pumping you in the face. Two being you can easily piece somebody who is smacking down on your wall without even making a peek that exposes you. I can make this simple peek and do that. I'm not exposed at all to damage, and I pieced the person effectively. He's hitting his head on the cone now, like what happened, and then he's got to go either left or right. And if he starts going left or right, then I can pop out and place that, and then now I have him full pieced. He's at my mercy. So what should you do in this situation? Well, you can take several different angles, but what I recommend first and foremost is not smacking with your pickaxe when possible. Use your pickaxe to bait or to get the last hit on the wall, right? You want to be using your guns to take walls, because listen, if I'm doing this, if I'm shooting his wall and he edits it out, one, I already have a gun out to do damage to him, but two, I can easily switch to my pump like that and then fight him back. Also, if I'm shooting his wall and he edits out, I can easily then pop, take the wall, right? So when you have your weapon out, you're in a much more powerful position than when you're smacking with your pickaxe. When you're smacking with your pickaxe, you're kind of at the mercy of your ping, because if you don't take that wall first try, you're dead. You are gone. If you're smacking on it with your AR, one, you can take it just as fast, if not faster. If he edits out, you're in a position to take the wall faster and be in a power position against him. They'll get it low and then they'll drop down and take it in all one swift motion, or they'll take a wall without even being at exposed angle. Like taking a wall at this angle is so much better than taking a wall at this angle or at this angle, because you're exposing yourself, right? So yeah, you can come down here and you can smack with your AR, and that's still better than coming down and smacking with your pickaxe. But if you stay up here, there's not really an edit that person can make that's going to hit you for any sustainable amount of damage. They can hit you in the toes, but it's not going to do a lot of damage, right? It's not like getting hit in the face, being down here and exposed. So you can smack on their wall from this angle and then edit them out, and then, you know, you're in a powerful position here because their head is exposed to you, but your head is not exposed to them. They can't see your head really at all. They can see your toes and your lower torso, but you can see almost their whole body from this angle. So taking the walls from this angle is much more powerful, and you can even do it with your assault rifle. You'll also see too, if they get the wall low, they won't just jump down and smack on it. They'll take the floor and cone themselves, double edit down, and then smack on it, right? So they have a way out, right? Because if he opens the edit on me, I can just jump straight back up, right? So you'll see pros before they smack, or before they like go for the last smack on a wall, what they'll do is they'll place the floor and cone so they can come down, they can smack on it. Oh, I didn't get the wall, he's opening up, I'm free. One last thing you can do is if you're caught in this situation where you're down at this angle, you're smacking on someone's wall, you can pickaxe bait, right? Don't just smack twice. You're putting yourself in a position to get destroyed if you smack twice. Smack once, pull your pump out, and wait for him to make the edit. If he does, pump him. If he doesn't, smack again or bait it again, right? So smack once, pull pump out. If he doesn't make the edit, pull your pickaxe out like you're gonna make the pickaxe swing again, but quickly switch back to your pump and see if you can bait him into making the edit. If not, then you can smack on it again and take the wall. All right, taking the floor and the cone, right? Same thing can be said when you're going for the cone. Get it low and then smack on it, and don't just do this, right? Don't just do this and say, hey, I'm gonna take the cone now, because again, edit, bop. Do this, make the edit like that, and smack on it from this angle. This angle right here will save you. So once you take the cone, get the cone low, take the cone, and then once you take the cone, open this edit, open that, and then smack from there. I wouldn't crouch there, but you know, you can take it from here. Your head's behind the edit, and then you're free to take the wall, take the cone. You take the cone, you can make this edit here without exposing yourself. If he's on the peak over here, which chances are he'll be against this wall because he doesn't want to expose himself, you can then pop him pretty easily. The point is, you don't want to like take the cone and then just make this wide edit. Don't do that, right? To take the cone, place the wall, and then go about it methodically, right? Give yourself some cover, give yourself some time. So the angles you take when you take someone's wall are very important, but equally as important is your crosshair placement and your piece control. For instance, if I make a wide edit, or if I'm making this peak and I make a wide edit like that, right? Or like I exaggerated that. If I make a wide edit like that, my crosshair's up here and I had to bring it back down to shoot. If I make a small edit like that, my crosshair is in a much more powerful position. Even like that, it's pointing at like the very bottom of the cone versus way up there. I have to bring it down a minimal distance to shoot him. Crosshair placement is basically making the least exaggerated movements you can with your crosshair, and always keeping your crosshair in a position to not only make the next shot, but the next build and edit. For instance, you do this, you make an exaggerated movement like that, your crosshair is all the way down there, and you have to bring it up to hit the triple edit or to hit the cones. Versus if you have good crosshair placement, boom, boom, my crosshair is in a place to win, and take that and then keep going, right? I have a video up on crosshair placement and piece control, so I'm not going to go over them too much in depth, but always be thinking about your crosshair placement when you're making an edit on somebody, when you're piecing somebody, when you're doing anything. Think about, okay, I'm not going to make an exaggerated movement, I'm going to make a minimalistic movement like that, so my crosshair can be brought down quickly and easily to hit the opponent, or in the case of a triple edit, you know, so you can make the triple edit, you can take the cone or whatever it is. That's how pros build an edit in piece control very fast, is they have good crosshair placement. Again, I have another video showcasing maps for that. So piece control, it's taking every single piece you can around an opponent's box when you're chasing them, when you're box fighting them, so you own the most pieces, they own the least pieces, so you can win the fight. This is Raider 464's map. I have a video on it already. I go through all the exercises, so if you want to see that more in depth, go to that video, but you get the gist. Piece control is very important, and the reason I showed you the angles at which you're making edits, crosshair placement, peeking, all of that before is, as you saw in these drills, it's very easy to take a bad angle and make a bad peek. If I make this edit, I'm dead. I make this edit, I can live and hit him in the face. I'll go over box fighting on a ping difference at the end, but basically for the rest of you who aren't on high ping, once you practice piece control, crosshair placement, angles, how you're taking walls, you are ready to hop in and practice box fighting against real players. Boxfight 2v2, Panville's, it has a 1v1, 3v3, and 4v4 map as well. and you're gonna put it all together and you're gonna box fight them, and then you're gonna see, okay, am I making these peaks better? Am I better than I used to be? If not, hop back in, practice those skills. If you're still in your old habits, it can be very hard to kick the old habit of making the wide edit. You probably won't be able to kick that habit after one session in creative practicing the optimal peaks. You're gonna have to, you know, keep at it and keep practicing it. But what I like to do when I box fight is I don't get caught up when I lose a box fight and, oh, he's dancing on me, he's emoting, he has better ping than me, blah blah blah. No, what I'm always caught up in when I'm box fighting opponents is, what did I do that lost me the fight? What did they do that won that fight? And if you can have that sort of analytical thinking when you're box fighting, you're gonna get better very fast. If you say, oh, I made that bad edit, GG to him, he destroyed me in the face, then you know next time, don't make that bad edit. It's very important to be thinking about your mistakes, because thinking about your mistakes reinforces in your brain to not make those mistakes, versus if you're just mad, like, oh, he destroyed me, he has a better ping, he's hacking, blah, blah, blah. You're not thinking about the mistakes you made, you're going to make the same mistake the next time. Okay, so box fighting on high ping is going to be very tough. I'm not going to lie to you. And in Fortnite, it's just very difficult. But there is things you can do to help you win fights on high ping, help you take walls on high ping. The first thing is pressuring multiple pieces, right? If I'm pressuring this piece and this piece simultaneously, he's having to hold that and hold this, and I can get one of them, right? I can either get this as he's holding the cone, or I can get this as he's holding the wall. One of the two. You can't just pressure one piece like that, right? It's not going to work out for you. The same can be said in the inverse. If you're in your box and he's smacking on your wall, you have to assume they're going to get your wall first try. Don't go up. If you go up, he's smacking on your wall, he just has to do that and you're gone, right? Don't do that. Instead, if he's smacking this wall, your best chance is to go to the other side, edit out here, make another box, and then go up if you want to. Another thing you can do is you can, if he's smacking your wall, you can edit out on him. Like, make that peak that I told you to make earlier, but from the inside of the box this time. But you have to be careful then, because he might just select then to spray your wall. If he can't see you, take the wall and you're gone. So you have to be very selective. Make the peak. If you don't get the shot off, then edit out, have the exit plan. Creating time and space for yourself when you have high ping is the most important thing, and smacking walls from multiple angles. And obviously when you're on high ping, it is the most important for you to have good aim. If you don't have good aim on high ping, you are going to lose every single fight. It's just the way it is, because most of your fights on high ping are coming down to how good of aim you have, and can you punish them with high enough damage to mitigate the cons of having bad ping. And it's getting increasingly difficult in Fortnite to do with how good players are becoming, but it's still a skill that you need to have. Let me know what you thought of the video. This is more of an entry-level, beginner-level introduction to getting better at box fighting video. There's obviously a lot of really advanced tactics that you can use, which we'll go over in a future video, but this will get you a good head start at getting better at box fighting fast. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed. I appreciate it a lot. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next video.